Hey, what's up? This is Markus Dunk here, and today I'm sitting here with one of our amazing clients, Maya. So Maya is from Lebanon. She's currently living in Dubai, and she just recently cracked nearly 7,000 US dollars per month from closing high ticket sales. And we're going to talk about her story today. And yeah, Maya, I'm super excited to have you on today. How are you doing?
Yeah, same here. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm excited. I'm excited for our interview today to talk with you about your journey, your story, and kind of what has been happening over the last couple of months. Tell us a little bit about how have been the last months been for you, and also how much money exactly have you made basically last month from high ticket closing. Like, bring us a little bit up to speed here.
I still can't believe that only after a few months then from joining the program, I'm here and already talking about my success and about my journey. It's been like quite an interesting last few months, practically working as a remote closer for just the last 3 months. And I joined the program only a few months before that. So it's been a dream that I didn't think would be possible in this short amount of time. And that being said, it doesn't mean that it was straightforward or easy, but it's definitely possible. As you mentioned, like already in my third month, I reached the $7,000 a month with the girl that I'm working with. So I can't complain. It's been wonderful.
Wow, love it. Yeah, that's great. And specifically like your story, and we're going to get into that and all of this.
Yeah.
For me, like personally, also super exciting. There were a lot of ups and downs that we kind of went through. And now we finally have you on for an interview. You're absolutely crushing it. And we're going to make sure you continue to crush it. Let's start kind of at the beginning, like what have you been doing before joining our mentoring program? Give us a little bit of a backstory, maybe.
Yeah, sure. So that's my favorite part because it's been quite a change. I've been working in the pharmaceutical industry for the last 10 years of my life. So that's almost been everything that I ever knew ever since I graduated from university back in Lebanon. I started there and then moved to Dubai. So I followed the traditional career pathway that our parents and our society teaches us to follow. So this is where it all started. And I didn't even know that there is anything else possible. So I joined the corporate life. I thought I enjoy it. I thought that's the only way to, make money and live life. 2 years ago, I just started thinking that this is not what I want for my life. This is not how I see myself. And definitely there is more to life than this. In the beginning, all I wanted was to get a promotion and to just advance in the career or in the corporate world. And I did get a promotion. And that promotion only
like the typical corporate ladder, like climbing up the corporate ladder.
Exactly. And I thought this is what I wanted. And the minute I got this promotion, it was the worst thing that could happen to me. And I'm not even joking. Like it came with more responsibilities, with less freedom. And it was limited, and I was just having to answer to somebody the whole time, having to ask for permission or for, just like a request to take a vacation. And I'm someone that loves to travel, loves to have freedom because time is very valuable. And I realized this the more I felt like I'm trapped in a 9 to 5. So I started looking and I knew that this is something I definitely need to do. I didn't know what to do at the time, but I knew that I need to just get out of this corporate world. Yeah. And this is how I came across you and across closing at the time. And I remember our first free consultation call. I didn't know much about the whole closing world, but definitely it sounded very interesting. And I thought, okay, this is something that I could do. This is something, it's a skill. And if I put my mind to it, I'm sure I can just, do it. It made sense. It made sense to me. That's how I joined the program. So I joined the program, and obviously it was just at the beginning and I didn't know what's going to happen next for me. But one thing I know for sure, and one thing that happened is that I grew a lot as a person just from the mentorship with you. I learned a lot. I love the fact that there were other people that were in the community that think like me, that also, made it work. And that was very inspiring, very motivating. It pushed me to also believe in this myself. So the journey itself has been amazing, even before I actually started closing, because I thought, okay, this is the freedom that I wanted. And at the same time, without me knowing, I was pregnant. So it worked out honestly perfectly. I don't know if you remember, just within maybe the first month of the mentorship, I texted you, Marcus, guess what? I resigned from my job.
Yes.
I wasn't planning on doing it at the time. I knew I was going to eventually, but it was so motivating to me. And I just had that feeling that I'm going to be successful in this. that
Yes.
I just took that decision. And honestly, ever since, it is the best decision I've made in my life. And I can't be more grateful, more, just thankful. And everything is coming together now with the baby coming soon. This is the best gift I can give to myself, to my family,
Mhm.
to my baby girl that's coming. So I can be with her. I can be
Yes.
just like, working and just having that freedom, that valuable time for me, be able to generate a decent income from it. So yeah, that's in a nutshell the journey.
Yeah, I remember perfectly with like when you got started, and you were still working the job, and then you told me, Marcus, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave my job behind now and go all in with this. And I mean, it worked out perfectly fine with you.
Yeah.
Right now with closing, so you were at $7,000 per month, give or take, and the months before, if I understood you correctly, they were also close to that, a little bit less.
Yeah.
So you kind of have this consistency now for the last 3.5 months or something like that. Compare that to what you did previously in the corporate world. Kind of, is that now replacing your income, or are we even past that? Like,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that.
That's the interesting thing. It definitely passed it. And I'm not even working as much as, not nowhere as near as how much I used to work in my corporate job. So now at the moment I'm working 3 days a week just for a
Mm-hmm.
few hours. And compared to, not just because with my previous job, it was not just 9 to 5. It was 9 to 5, but there were always something out after hours. So I
Yeah.
never felt like I'm not working. I was working all the
Mm.
time. I was stressing. And that's also was one of the main motivators that I really need to get out of this, because it was just very toxic to me. The entire corporate workspace was not with what I wanted, and it was
Mhm.
affecting me as a person without even talking about, the income or anything else. That alone is very valuable and very worth every second of where
Mhm.
I'm at right now.
Often it's not really about how much money you make. Yes, of course, you need a specific amount to kind of, it's how do you make your money? If you slaving your life away in a corporate job for like 5K a month or 4K a month or whatever, but then compared, if you can double that, yeah, and you
Yeah.
can work half of it or even less on your
Yeah.
own terms, on your own
Yeah.
lifestyle, and then at the same time grow yourself as a person.
Yeah.
Now, because that's something that you said at the beginning as well, that you completely transformed into like the next version of you, right? The next level Maya. And that's
Yeah.
the beauty of closing, really, because I think closing and personal development, it really goes hand in hand. The more you develop as a person, the more you grow in your career as a closer,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, what you do is it is communication. You're talking to
Yeah.
people, you're helping them
Yeah.
out, you're there for them. So that's kind of how I always see it.
100%. It's a skill that I'm using for everything, not just for when I'm on the phone with the
Mhm.
prospects, but it's a gift that I learned that nobody can take away from me,
Yes. And you can go
and
travel
I
with it.
value
You can
that.
take it and
Oh,
travel with
100%.
it.
100%. I can do it from anywhere at my own time. I don't need to submit any vacation days
All
before or
right.
ask for any permission or any of that. And that is valuable because time is valuable and nothing
Yeah.
is more valuable than that.
It's such a good point. Yeah, it's not just the skill, it's not just really for business. It is also like for your relationships, not just with your partner or with your husband or
Yeah.
with your friends, but also with your family, with the people around you. That's actually also something I wanted to talk with you about. Like, what do they say about your progress?
My husband in specific, he's super impressed. He's like, my husband is someone that loves the corporate job, I mean, but seeing what I'm doing, he even considered it himself, and that's something that he would never ever considered before. But seeing the success, it's just been amazing. And he's like, he always tells me like, I can't believe you like wrote down your goals and you achieved them, and with the vision board now we're just taking off. It's been really nice to see. And also something like related, like with my mom, a few days ago she was visiting here in Dubai, and she was telling me, because at the beginning when I first told her what I'm doing, I mean, it was a bit different for her. It's not
Mhm.
something that people are used to, and she
Right.
didn't know what to expect. And she was like, okay, but like you invested in this, and really, like, she was just not very convinced. But now a few days ago she was telling me, you know you have no idea how difficult it is if you were still working in the pharmaceutical company or in any corporate job and you have to leave your daughter at home. What you're doing now is the best gift that you can give her. You have no idea how valuable this is, and you will only know it when she's actually born, and you will really appreciate that and be grateful for it. It was nice to hear it from her.
That's also something that I always say, like, because sometimes, there are people where they have maybe a partner, a husband, a wife, or a family who's not as supportive, or they think, well, doing something online, something that we do, is like, this cannot be real, or it's just like something shady, and so they don't understand that there's a real world out there and this is a legitimate thing to do. So the best thing you can really do for these people, if you don't have someone who's supportive, it's just like show them by the results that this is real. Like, I don't want to say your husband wasn't supportive. I think he was very supportive from the beginning when we first spoke, but it's just also just to show him, to prove him, hey, I can do that. I'm going to be doing it. It's just really, really, really cool.
There are lots of people that were like, when they looked at me like I'm crazy when I first, quit my job and started this. And now if I tell you how, and if I tell you now, that's the interesting thing, how many people are coming to me asking me, what are you doing? How are you doing it? Can you introduce us to Markus? So it's been quite nice to see and witness this and live it,
That's so true. I also remember when I first got started, there were a lot of like friends and people around me. They were like, what are you doing? As long as you kind of stay in your lane, you stay committed, you're going to make it work. I mean, you're the best example for it, right?
Yeah.
What does your day-to-day life look like right now?
Honestly, I'm in the mall. I'm meeting with friends. I'm just, living my life, shopping for the baby, preparing for her arrival. And I had like our parents visiting us here. So it's been amazing because I was with them the whole time. And just because I'm currently working on US time, 3 days a week, as I mentioned. So I just work from 5 p.m. until 11 p.m. or sometimes even less than that, which works perfectly for me because anyway, during that time, I'm someone that doesn't like to go out every night, for example. So I put these hours and they work, and then I have the all day for me, and just 3 nights that I'm kind of, taking some calls, a few calls, and it works.
That's amazing. There are 2 questions I have. The first thing is, how would you explain to someone what high ticket sales or remote closing, what that is? And then also after that, what kind of deals are you currently closing? You don't need to share exactly who you're working with, but just kind of the direction that you pick, that you're currently in.
I know that maybe also this is a misconception whenever someone hears the word sale. What I'm doing is I'm not cold calling anybody. These people that we're on the phone with, they are people that are interested, that they want help. And this is also something that I'm enjoying. Like I feel good every time I sign someone into the program that I'm closing for. And especially when I see their success, nothing brings me more satisfaction than that. So literally all I'm doing is just helping them make the decision for themselves, guiding them. They need someone sometimes to just walk them through where they should be, through the right decision. And if they are not a good fit, also that's my job to also not sign them up, So that's why also I feel very good about what I'm doing because I believe in it. And especially again, like after seeing their success. So it's just about asking the right questions, help them think the right way and help them make the decision for themselves. That's what a closer is, basically.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
And now I work with mostly digital entrepreneurs or someone that wants to start their online business or an influencer. It's just marketing through their or growing their social media visibility, their social media presence in order to monetize their business or in order to get started with their business. So it's also people that want to kind of also shift to just have this digital or like a passive income from an online business.
Maya, what would you say to someone who maybe is watching this interview right now and they are maybe on the fence, or they're not sure about our program, about me, about us, what we do here? What would you tell someone like that, someone who's considering of joining, but they don't know if it's the right thing for them?
My background has been in sales for the last 10 years. But what I learned in just these 3 months with you within this program has been more valuable and more informative than my whole 10 years that I've been working in sales or even what I studied in university, and I'm not even exaggerating. Because as I mentioned earlier, like the journey itself has been amazing. I grew as a person, I learned a lot, and now I'm able also to put this into practice and make it
Yes.
successful. Just for the journey itself and for how I changed as a person, I would say that that was the most valuable thing that I've done in my life and the best decision that I've taken.
I love it. That's so great to hear. Is there anything else that you feel like you have to share, or that you want to share, or that you want to mention before we wrapping things up here?
I just want to summarize everything based on also my experience by saying what's really important to make it work in this. The recipe for me has 4 ingredients, and they're very easy, honestly, to make it work. So just having the right positive mindset, the right mentor, and the willingness to make it work, and also be perseverant. Because having said all that we said during this interview, that doesn't make it, it's nothing comes easy. Definitely there is a part to for us to put the effort, but as long as we are having the right guidance and having the right mindset and putting the efforts, that's all it takes. And all of these are easy things to have once we want to make it work. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that you're saying that. There's only so much that we can do for you, for example. And at this point, I also want to thank you for being such an amazing client, really, and always implementing and never making any excuses. You always just, like, we talked about something and you just went off for it, and you just took care and took action on it, right? And that's something that I always say, like, yes, we want to help people who want to help themselves, someone like yourself, right? We're not here to rescue anyone or something like that, right? We're here to help people who want to help themselves, and who are really, who want to make it work as well. So yeah, I think on that note, again, thank you so much for taking the time today and chatting with me here about your story. I think it's been super amazing for everyone who's watching. And then of course I also want to wish you and the baby and your husband like all the best. Exciting times are ahead of us, and we're definitely going to keep in touch. And thank you so much for the interview today, Maya. It's been really, really great to have you.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for everything.
Yes, it's great. If you're watching this right now and you're curious about learning more about how you can close deals remotely the same way like Maya is doing currently, and you want to learn more, there's a link down below here where you can just book an appointment either with me directly or with someone in my team, and then we figure out a strategy for you on that call on how we might be able to do the same for you, like what we did with Maya here. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one. Thank you, Maya. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.